Good afternoon, Periscope people. I thought I'd sit down and have a cup of tea in my, not sure whether you can see it, in my Do Epic Shit mug. So it's afternoon tea break. Hi there, Mehmet. Hi, Zebs. Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining me. I hope you're all doing really well. Hi, Palmadrew. Drew Palmer. Palmadrew. Hello. Hello, VFTS editor. Hi there. How you doing? All right. So listen, I've been in some Facebook groups this week and I have promised to make, hi bro, my little brother's joined us. I promised to make a cheat sheet, which I'm in the process of doing, of how my podcast takes me 20 minutes a week to do. And I've just hit over 91,000 podcast hits, which I'm super, super pleased with. Hi there, thanks for joining me. And, my podcast is really instrumental in growing my audience at the moment. I'm getting lots of people come straight to me asking for coaching, asking for mentoring, asking for sort of packages, and they found me from the podcast. So it's really, it's such a key tool. Hi there. Right. So, sorry. Yes, of course. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Jo Gifford of Dexterous Diva. So DEXTEROUS Diva. DexterousDiva.co.uk. And my podcast is Work Smarter, Dream Bigger, Live Brighter. And you'll find it on iTunes and Stitcher Radio. And so I started my podcast last January of 2014, and I did 2 episodes and became overwhelmed with it all. And I didn't have the proper kit, and thank you very much. Yeah, awesome. Do check it out. I didn't have the proper kit, and my first 2 episodes didn't have, great audio and stuff like that, and I kind of left it. And then I was like, no, I'm going to give this thing a try, and came back to it. And so the last 3 or 4 months, I've been really consistent with doing one every week. And I bought myself a blue Snowball microphone, which has been epic in getting some great audio, and it's really affordable. It's something like, I think it's about £50. Family, yes, I do have family. Is that what you mean? Hello there. So my blue Snowball mic is what I use along with my Mac. Yes, it's totally viable to sort of do it on your own. So mine started off on my own. So what I'm going to tell you about really briefly here is how I started on my own and how my team and I now do it. So mine now takes me just 20 minutes every week. If you are sort of totally by yourself, then obviously it can take longer than that. So what currently happens from my end of things is I now sit down on a Monday morning, and my podcast is very unplanned. It's really sort of a free flow, and I will choose, some content areas that I want to sort of talk about on that day. And really my research and my planning is something which happens all week. So I'm kind of absorbing the questions from my audience. I'm seeing what everybody wants to know about. I'm sort of taking note of these things. So the planning part of it is kind of ongoing. So when it comes to sitting down and doing the podcast, for me, it's a case of just press record and go. And I do that, so using my iMac and my Blue Snowball microphone, and I record straight into GarageBand. Now I had an intro done on Fiverr, so sort of $5 just to have like a sort of intro done. You can have that done really, really easily, really effectively and affordably. Hi, Dr. Matt. Hi, Rusty. Hi, everyone. Which is like a super simple way to get going. So you have like all the sort of jingles and the swooshes and stuff like that is like $5. Okay, so if you're just starting out, you can have that done. And, you drop that piece of audio into GarageBand. What I do is I then send my finished audio off to my team in Slack, and we use Slack as the back end stuff, for my VAs and stuff like that. One of my VAs sends that audio on a Monday morning off to someone who transcribes that audio for us. Now, again, awesome. This is excellent. I'm so pleased it's timely for you. Now, we have somebody who we work with sort of remotely called Catherine Paul, so shout out to Catherine, who transcribes the stuff for us, pops it back into Dropbox, say by Wednesday, I think. So it's recorded on Monday, it's back in the Dropbox, transcribed on Wednesday. Again, if you don't have somebody in your pool of sort of workers or contacts, again, you can go to Elance or to Fiverr, send them your audio and they will transcribe that for you really quickly, really affordably done. You might not even want to have that transcribed, so in which case that's that part done for you. But for me, I like to have my kind of audio transcribed. Hi from Ireland, hiya. So that actually acts as my blog post for the week as well. So people have the choice to either have the audio or to read the blog post. And you'll see my most recent ones on my website. So if you go to my site, dexterousdiva.co.uk/podcast, you'll see my most recent ones and also, how we transcribe that below. So by Wednesday, I've got the transcription back. Okay, so now my VA, happy Tuesday to you too, hiya. So now my VA edits that and puts it into the WordPress post. So is Scribby any good? I don't know. Scribby, I haven't heard of that one. What's that? You need to enlighten me. I use Podbean to host the audio on for the podcast. So what we do is we then put the audio into Podbean, load up the show notes and stuff like that. And also one of my team makes an image which goes on the blog post and into Podbean. So our transcribe site, I see, I've got you. I don't know, to be honest, thank you so much. That's my brother with the link. You can totally subscribe to my podcast right there. Thanks, bro. Everyone check out my little brother there, Coldfree Monkey. He's a code genius. He's a speaker. He's an author. He's just amazing. Thanks so much, Matt, for doing that for me. So I'm from Cambridge, the person who just asked, in the UK. So yes, so we've had the audio transcribed, we're putting it into Podbean, and now the transcription is being edited and put into the WordPress site. So this part of it is not done by me. So my part, hi there, John. So my part was to sit down on the Monday morning with the coffee and record the thing. Oh, really sweet of you. I'm not, but thank you very much. And the rest of it is done after that sort of by my team. Obviously, if you're starting out, you can outsource this to Elance or to Fiverr, or you can do some of this yourself. So, sort of take chunks of it and use what works for you. How did I find my VAs? Right, I've got two now. So I started working with Alejandra, who is now my online business manager. I started working with her last June or July, I think. Hi. And that was from sort of recommendations. I interviewed a couple of people. We had sort of face-to-face Skype time and just kind of really got on. We started off with a couple of hours here and there, so it wasn't into like a full-time thing. Cost Alejandra, well, she's do eggy egg. Okay, not quite sure about that. Okay, so the cost of VAs vary, so we'll come back to them in a minute. So I started working with Alejandra, had a couple of hours here and there, and then later on last year went on to retainer with her, and then we brought on like another VA to the team. So Alejandra now acts as my OBM, so she's my online business manager, and we now have Tara, who does sort of loads of my other bits and bobs. Oh, lovely! You're a pleasure, aren't you? So I built up really slowly, really kind of incrementally with the VAs. Now, VAs really vary in cost from like sort of $5 an hour up to sort of 60 and more. So Alejandra is a higher end sort of VA. So, she's now my online business manager. So she sort of really coordinates all of our emails, all my CRM stuff. She's kind of behind the scenes with all that. Oh, thank you, Kerry. Yes, hi there. It's nice to have you here. I'm finally online for you. So they really vary in cost, but I would totally recommend asking people around on Twitter, in your Facebook groups that you're in, for sort of 4 recommendations for finding a great VA, and just find someone who's a great fit for you. So I have a awesome team with me now. Okay, so let's go through my workflow. So on a Monday morning, I've recorded the podcast, I popped the audio into Slack, and my team send it off to be transcribed. It comes back on a Wednesday, and we start to edit the post, and we have to, and my team drop in an image. Again, if you don't have someone around to do an image for you for the blog post or for the podcast, you can outsource that to Fiverr. You could do something in Canva. So all this stuff can be super quick. It can be super, sort of super easy. Let me just block this person here. Thank you very much. And it can be, really effective to do. So then on a Thursday, we're now uploading the audio itself onto Podbean, and we embed the Podbean player into the WordPress post and schedule it all to go live for the podcast to drop on a Friday. Now, all that stuff doesn't have to take a week. If you're doing that yourself, you can literally sort of just record and go, just do some show notes. Oh, I know, here's a strange one. He's getting quite scary. Thanks, Rusty. And, you know, I posted this in a Facebook group recently, and, you know, somebody said it can't possibly take you 20 minutes a week. You know, you've got to plan it, you've got to write the scripts, you've got to edit it, blah, blah, blah. The way that I do it, no, it takes me 20 minutes a week. It, you know, literally my podcast isn't planned. It's really sort of free flowing. I might sort of take some, some questions from Twitter that morning and sort of work that into my show. For other people whose style is like really, really super planned, then it might take you longer to kind of script stuff and all that sort of stuff. But I'm at the stage now where I just wanted to really just talk to my audience and just kind of put out stuff that's really useful. And it's working, guys, you know. So I'm sure sort of later on down the line, I'll be tweaking stuff and I'll be, you know, making loads of amends. And you know, I've been starting to sort of repurpose my Periscopes as well as YouTube, you know, videos. And of course, again, you can strip out audio from these and you can repurpose those. But I would really encourage you, if you haven't started podcasting yet and you're kind of scared by it, I would give it a go. And, you know, I can totally recommend the Blue Snowball microphone, which is excellent, really affordable piece of kit. And I just use that with my Mac. And, you know, 91,000 downloads so far. It's really helping to grow my audience. And what sort of lots of people say is that, you know, with podcasts, you know, I'm like this myself. I sort of plug into things as I'm walking, as I'm sort of putting around the house, you know, and so you're absorbing info in a really different way, aren't you? So to have access to your clients' brains and to your audience's ears for so long. Thank you so very much, Natalie. Yeah, it can be. And, you know, I'm always really transparent about how I work. And yes, I do have my team on those final bits, but really, you know, my team's input is, you know, is only sort of taking the file and making sure that goes to the transcriptionist. So whether that's you sending it off to Fiverr or you sending it off to someone, then, you know, you can totally do that. And it's kind of editing the post. And so again, you know, you can cut that part out of it and just do the recording part. And even if you did all that stuff yourself, it would probably take you an hour, you know, without doing all the scripted podcasts and stuff. Now, if you are doing some, you know, some interviews with people and stuff, then it might take longer. So I do, you know, a few interviews here and there with peeps, and in which case I use a screen recorder. No, not screen recorder, call recorder. Hi there, Drew, on the Mac, which records all my Skype calls. And so therefore I can strip the audio from the Skype call, you know, recording, and drop that into GarageBand. And occasionally I have to you know, sort of edit bits and bobs out and sort of do some tweaks, you know, from my recorded interviews. But I kind of like just to show people how it went and just to kind of be really real with it. And, you know, on my shows, you get the errors, you get the, you know, you just get me talking. And it's stuff that works for people. And I think because I know the subject stuff really well, I've always got loads to say. And that's the thing, you know, if it's your niche and your industry and your expertise, then you're always going to have lots to say on it. So I'm just going to say to give it a go, and also to stay tuned for my podcast cheat sheet. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me this afternoon. I'll speak to you soon. Bye.